Hello, everyone. Girl, why am I always crying? Oh, Lord Jesus, I almost start crying already. But hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am JayLee. This is JLeesCorner. Y'all know Black and Crew tonight was a tough episode, and I just want to kind of just get through it because it was, not it was team too much in the way of, just emotional. You know what I'm saying? And just it's just it was one of the realest episodes showing someone losing a parent. You know what I'm saying? I like how Ryan went on IG earlier and he made a post, of course, promoting today's episode, and I like how he said people were asking like, oh, why show it? You know what I'm saying? Why, whatever. He like, well, we show our lives for a reason. Like, the show is about us and everything, and a part of that and reaching out and having, the fans who watch connect with us is to show them what's really going on. And I agree with that. It's like, how real can your show be if someone loses their parent and you don't see that at all? You know what I'm saying? So he put how Charmaine was open enough to allow this experience to be, played out on the show. And I think it's amazing because so many times people grieve in private. So when it happens to people, like people feel like, I don't know so-and-so because I can't see them react in one way or the other. It's always this, things are always so perfect, or we may see them fussing and fighting or whatever. But this is one situation where you can't plan or plot or real life happen. And I'm happy they are showing it, no matter how much it will cause people to cry, because I cried the whole thing. I cried through the whole thing. And y'all know sometimes my videos are a little bit different. This is one, the whole, I ain't got time for that. The beginning of the episode starts off with, beautiful moments of them showing, flashback when it was between Charmaine and her mom, okay? And then we see, saying 2 days earlier. So, let's get to that part first. We see Charmaine talk to her staff. She apologizes because of her reaction and her actions as of late, especially when Fly told her that Ryan talked to him or whatever. She brings about, I just been really emotional lately or whatever, but I'm sorry about how I react and everything. Fly admits that part of it was his fault, for him, one, going over to talk to Ryan, you know what I'm saying, and and that or whatever. And Charmaine said, well, yeah, I realized that the fact that you told me about it showed me that you were loyal to me because you didn't have to tell me. I completely agree or whatever, but he tells Charmaine that he's not leaving Second City Inc. at all. So she brings up how I actually went over there and talked to Ryan about it, whatever. And based on that situation, I'm saying me and him not cool no more. I'm saying I don't think me and him be cool ever again. And we've seen her say that on last week's episode as well. She then brings up how she's going to have a maternity shoot there at the office or whatever, and she's going for like a Beyonce look or whatever. So we see that. We do see over at NAMAC how Ryan brings up how, him and Charmaine fuss. It was weird for him. It kind of showed him how they weren't as close as he thought they was. And, he didn't think it was a big issue, him having a conversation with Fly, but she came over pissed, and not things of what they are. Ford brings up how, he talked to old girl who was supposedly his baby mama, and they agreed to meet up. He brings up how, if he was, the girl said it was back in 2002. Around that time, he was around 15 years old. And I don't think when he said, or they said 2002, I thought about how old he would have been back in 2002. And 2002, I was 20. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I'm looking like, oh, you can be responsible, at 20 years old. I didn't know I was older than 4. You know what I'm saying? So he was 15 in 2002. I was 20. So it's, it's a difference or whatever. And he also brings up how he doesn't remember much back then. I mean, when I was 15, I had memories of stuff. I definitely recall all the times I've had sex. But I do get the boys out here just clanging and banging. They may not recall every single time they bang somebody. I know plenty of dudes who was banging and clanging back then and don't remember the girls they slept with. That's why I wasn't banging and clanging at 15. I was banging and clanging because I was 16. But I still, I wasn't out here like they was. It was nothing like that or whatever. Anyway, he brings up how he hoped that this whole thing is like a little clout chasing thing to like just, get some attention because the little girl may look like him. As I said last week, a lot of times people look like other people. It does not make them the damn daddy. But I digress. We then see Bella pops up, and I'm like, Bella, what you doing here? Where's the little picture? So Bella pops up, to visit or whatever, and she wants to talk to Ryan. So Don and Ford both leave, because Don face? When Bella popped in, Don face, he was like, Bella? What is you doing here? So that was Don face, and it made me laugh, so of course I took a picture of it. Anyway, so Ryan and Bella talk. Well, I didn't know if I was, banned from he like, no, you're not banned from here. Like, I was fired, so I just didn't know what he like, well, no, you weren't banned. Ryan brings up in the confessional how, Bella was more or less collateral damage. I'm saying, Bella worked at the old Nine Mag, and so when he closed that shop around, he fired everybody who worked there except Don and Ford, because Don and Ford, he wanted to be at the new Nine Mag. I don't feel bad for Bella, mainly because Bella didn't do much. You know what I'm saying? To me, she didn't. And I don't, that's just my opinion. Anyway, so she comes and she's like, look, you know what I'm saying? I've been working temp jobs. That hasn't been working out. I tried to do this or that or whatever. That wasn't working out. You know what I'm saying? I'm a single mom. I'm struggling. I can't pay bills. Sometimes I'm scraping money together, just to pay rent. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here bad. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just hoping that, you know what I'm saying, that me, you can talk or whatever, and we can work things out, and you may have a job for me, or you can hire me. And this is what I have an issue with. There are many other people who are out here struggling in these streets, and I feel like, I don't want to sound mean or rude at all. I don't want to do that, because that's not the state of mind I'm in at all. But I also feel like your last resort can't be your one friend who owns a tattoo shop. Like, my thing is, you can't go there and be like, give me some charity. Give me anything you got. I think it would have been better if she would have went there and said, you know what? This is what I can bring to the table at your shop. Like, this is what I can come here and do if you have space for me. And, when Ryan's like, I am sorry how, you were fired. I'm sorry about how that happened. You know what I'm saying? But I don't have a job for you here. You know what I'm saying? I don't have any open positions, and it's not personal. It's business. And I think that's the issue that some people have to realize. Sometimes friends can help our friends. But my thing is, I can't hire you if you not going to bring no money to my, like, you not bringing nothing into the shop. Like, what am I paying you to do? I still want what he planned to do the first time, but I digress or whatever. And I also feel like she kept, my daughter, you are the mother. And I feel like you can't say I've tried to do these other temp jobs and that's not working out. Well, then you have to figure out some kind of full-time gig, because my thing is, how much money do you think you're going to make with Ryan? I mean, I get if you're on the show, you can make some money. I just wish Bella would have not came there with, like, no game plan besides, I'm your friend, I got a kid, I can't afford to pay my rent, and you should hire me. And I'm like, that ain't how life go, mama. I can't, I wouldn't even want someone to give me that, because I would feel like it's not steady, and it may not last forever. I want Bella to try to figure out what she wants to do in life, not how can I make some money real quick. I feel like, think about something that's long term, and I don't think she did it. And I don't fault Ryan for not finding something for her to do with the shop. I feel like Bella better bet would have been going over to Second City Inc. and asking Charmaine for a job versus Ryan. I mean, Charmaine, they have to need a receptionist to book I don't know, to do something. On the episode today, they handle damn pens. She can go work at Second City and get some damn pens. But I mean, girl, but that's what it was. And she leaves knowing that she doesn't have a job at Nine Mag. But again, it wasn't personal. We do see Ford meets with said baby mama. Where's she at? Okay, that's her. I don't know what her name was. A Knox in the Moon. I'm going to say that because it was a whole bunch of letters on the screen. And I don't know what it said. I'm going to call her a Knox in the Moon because that was from the mummy. Anyway, and she's the mummy. Anyway, so she brings up that, she did not know her sister was going to contact him. But she does not know who her daughter's father is or whatever. And it was hard for her, to go through things too. Now he says, so what? He doesn't even remember her. She pulled up a picture and said, we hung out back then. and this is the guy that you was hanging out with. And it's a picture of 4 from back in the day. It's him and the dude. Oh, yeah, that's so. So I was always hanging out with him. But again, 4 doesn't remember her. I don't know how to say that. Anyway, he said, so, so what did we do? Like, what happened? She said we was hanging out at somebody's house or something. Like, I guess they was supposed to have company, whatever. We was sneaking around. And she says we ended up sneaking around and having sex in the closet. And 4 was like, I don't remember having sex in the closet. And, but when she was talking, he just sounded like, none of this sounds familiar. And I feel like, it's like, is she lying, or was 4 a slut when he was 15 and he had sex so much that he doesn't remember, getting, banging some girl in the closet? I mean, I've never got banged out in the closet. I mean, we know Andrea from like at the lockup, and she got pregnant in the prison closet. But I mean, I don't know people just out here just having sex in closets. I just did not know that. But I mean, she said she was, and so was 4. But I'm like, if you say so. But again, 4, like, I don't remember ever having sex in the closet. Maybe it was a little small room and he thinking the closet and some room. I don't know. My thing is, just do a DNA test. There's no need for all this extra conversation. If somebody if I was a guy, and they come and say, we have a kid together. Okay, well, let's get a DNA test. Let's, I won't say you lying. I'll say, I don't know. I've had unprotected sex as a man. I may knock you up. Okay, let's get a DNA test. Meeting up with them ain't gonna help you. Oh yeah, that is my baby. I don't know. Anyway, the girl then knocks him on. Then said the daughter is there. Okay, and you want to meet her. And 4 was like, she's here. She's like, yeah. Do you want to meet her? And I'm like, you know what? Too soon. Before is nurse like, well, I guess so, because the girl is like outside the door, like she's outside or whatever. So the little girl come in or whatever, here she is, and 4 still feels like this was not the right time for me to meet her, for the simple fact that I'm just not meeting her mama. He said, I don't want her to look at me as a father if that's not who I am. I'm saying, I don't want this to get weird for anybody, especially me. And so she walked in, she's like, hi, you seem nervous. He said, well, yeah, I'm saying, I don't have any kids, so this is kind of weird for me. Do she favor 4 in the face? Yes. But she also favors her mama. And my thing is, I can't look at her and say, oh, that's 4's kid. I can't do that. Now with Don and that little girl, she looked like Don. Like, I was like, no, that's Don, baby. Okay, that was different. This one right here, I'm looking like, I don't know. Because I'm not. To me, she looks like her mama. She, or like a regular black girl, like with Don daughter. Don daughter may grow up and she may look completely different. Now I may say, oh, Don, she don't look like I did so much. But I mean, Don had a DNA test. Okay. Anyway, at the end of the day, the mama has 5 other kids. Okay, she had 2 sets of twins. Okay. Wait. Yeah, 2 sets of twins. So she, I'm like, okay. Anyway, but 4 said, well, okay, we're gonna keep in touch. And me and Mom, well, do what we need to do or whatever, and we'll take it from there. I'm like, just go have the DNA test and leave everything else alone. And that's that. So we do see Charmaine does her maternity shoot. And she posted these pictures online. She did the photo shoot at Second City. Again, at this point in time, she was only 20 weeks pregnant. She also did a little video to send her mom, because her mom had just went back to Louisiana at the point in time. And so, yeah. Now, I may not cry because I've been talking for about 15 minutes. So we see Charmaine is at home. We see the little thing to say, Charmaine was Charmaine was about to go film, at the shop. But her mom was rushed to the hospital. And so we see her at her house, no wig and all, okay, and on the phone with her dad, and you can tell that it was like production or whatever was recording, either on you can tell they weren't fully filming, but they were filming a little bit. I feel like it was because they kept moving, putting the camera up and down. And she's on the phone with her dad, and the dad, she was in the hospital, and her heart stops, And so the dad is like, they working on it, whatever. They maybe come up out of there, and they trying to figure out what's going on. Now her mom was in the hospital, and at first we did not know why. So she called Neek because Neek ain't home. Neek is out of town on business, and so she's like, Neek, my mom's heart stopped. I don't know what to do. I'm saying, you may need to meet me in Louisiana. Things, if she's in the hospital, whatever. I'm saying, or if things get worse, I just need you home. Of course, she's panicking, freaking out. Like, I just need you, Neek. Like, Neek, just please come home. And I'm like, I felt horrible because she's just saying, I need you to come home. But in reality, I'm like, he can't come home today. Well, not that. But he can't come home like at that. Like, he not at work in Chicago where he can leave. And there's, what I'm saying? He was out of state at this point in time. And we know that because we see a little flash scene at Second City, and they all sit around like, where's Charmaine at? We've been calling her, whatever. We went texting her. She hasn't responded. Like, that's not like her. And Jen brought up, it's kind of weird because also Neek is out of town on business or whatever, so I don't like her being alone or whatever, because anything can happen. So we see that them even wondering where she at, because again, she was supposed to go film at the shop. So we see Neek, just calm down, have faith, because she, was just, freaking out, because that's just what you do. We see she's calling back and forth between her and her dad, because the dad, like, I don't know, they still working on her, I don't know. And then, she called her dad back the last time, and you can hear him, like, pause. And she's like, did they tell you anything? And he was like, mm-hmm. And when he said, mm-hmm, my whole, man, look. When he said, mm-hmm, I'm like, oh, Lord Jesus. Even though I knew she had passed away, it's still hearing how he's trying to compose himself, because he knows that he has to tell Charmaine her mom has passed away. And then she was like, he said, yeah, she didn't make it. And I was like, oh, and Charmaine was like, what? So mom died? And he was like, yep, she did. Like, I know, it's, I can't believe it. And Charmaine is sitting there in shock. And the dad, like, they gonna let us go in there and view the body, for a couple minutes. The pastor's here to say, another prayer. We got to start planning the funeral. But I can hear in his voice, he's kind of on automatic pilot. Like, it's just, I have these, this is what the son passes away. You say some prayers, you plan the funeral. That's the automatic pilot part of your brain. It's like, okay, these are steps 1, step 2, step 3. And then you just hear Charmaine, brother, sister, you would just hear Charmaine get up and just break, like, that's my mom. And the wail, girl, oh Lord Jesus, she just broke down. You see the producer put the camera down, and they like, Charmaine, I'm so sorry, because no one is ever prepared for their parents to pass away. Like, there is no preparation. Even when your parent is sick, there's no, you can't plan for that, of how it affects you and how you react to it, and what do you do now. You know what I'm saying? And I think for Charmaine, still being young, because Charmaine's in her 20s, it's just a hard pill to swallow. So we do see, from there, Ryan shows up. Charmaine called Ryan to tell him that her mom has away, and Charmaine just crying, and even him hold it was just he said he was with Don and 4 when Charmaine called him and told him that she had passed away. And he like, either me and Charmaine was at odds or whatever, so her mom and me still, were cool, and we still communicated. So anything that me and Charmaine had gone on is, is done, you know what I'm saying? Because this, takes precedence over any bullshit that we have going on. And we then see Charmaine explain to Ryan kind of what happened a little bit. She says how her mom was gearing up for dialysis. She then said, she said they were trying to make sure her kidneys didn't fail while trying to fix her heart, but her heart stopped. And I'm just like, it's just like, it's just sad and everything, you know what I'm saying? We then see Don and 4 get there outside, but her Don and 4, are kind of not on good terms or whatever. But, down for both, like, even though we was, not, we had odds or whatever, any bullshit that went on or whatever, again, doesn't matter. Like, we want to let her know that we still family, and we here for her. Now, they were outside, they sent her text. Charmaine didn't want to come in the house. For her, she said, I'm just not ready to see them, you know what I'm saying? Even though I appreciate them coming, I'm just not ready for that. And that's something else. When your parent passes away, you don't really want to be around a lot of people. And even when a lot of people are around, you is in a whole hog of a face. And this was the same day that her mom passed away, like within hours and everything. And I like how Four and Don realized, okay, she just don't want to see us right now, and that's okay, because again, we haven't really talked to her or whatever, and this is just not the right time, and they both left. But it's good that she knew they was there too. Ryan brings up how, as he talked to Charmaine, that on his way there, he's seen old messages between, him and her mom, where her mom, Glenda, was just asking Ryan, you and Charmaine need to make up. Like, if y'all can just please make up just for me, like, if y'all can just please do that, that whole conversation. And it just shows how much her mom wanted them to be cool. And she had said that before on the show, too, so I don't think that was a big secret that, that's what she wanted. But it's like, okay, her mom wanted us to be cool, and that's what we gonna do. We do see Ryan go over to Second City Inc. because Charmaine asked him to go over there, and we stopped by it like, what is he doing here? Why is Ryan here? What's going on? And I'm like, see, y'all got them funky ass attitudes, and he over there for a real ass reason, okay? And he like, Charmaine asked me to come by, to let y'all know. And he said, her mom had a heart attack. Her mom, what he said, she had, he either her mom's heart stopped or her mom had a heart attack. One of the two. And she died. And it was like, what? Like, they were completely shocked, because again, they were there to film that day or whatever. And so, he like, Charmaine asked me to come do this or whatever, and so I can't let y'all know, what I'm saying, she gonna need everybody right now. Y'all know how close she was to her mama. Her mama was family to me too, so it's a whole lot. And they were shocked and they were sad. It was what it was. We do see Danny came over, her cousin Danny came. She brought up how, when she told me, I thought everything, and I popped up over here, whatever. Charmaine brings up, I just never thought I would be without my mom. We were best friends. They show more flashbacks for her mom. And, it was just sad. You know what I'm saying? Charmaine is in shock. She's in shock. She didn't know what to do, what to say. You know what I'm saying? She didn't think her mom would be gone. She's pregnant. She's in shock. I don't know what else to say. Neek mom called her, and Neek mom was in shock. Neek mom was like, I didn't mean laugh, but Neek mom said, Shanique called me, and he's wailing because he was on the phone crying, and he said, Mom, Glenda died. And I was like, it was the way Glenda's dead. I'm like, oh, she just so cutthroat with that, how she said it. And you can hear in her voice how she's in shock and how she's sad and how she feels, oh my God, my daughter, I cannot believe, how are you, my daughter? I'm going to pray. I'm going to pray and pray and pray for you. I'm going to keep praying out. And that's, I'm going to keep praying for you, and girl, we do see Neek gets home to be there for Charmaine, so they can go fly to Louisiana to be there for her father. She brings about, she just wants to have good energy, and for her father, because her father's not doing too good about it, whatever. He's taking it hard, and so she doesn't want to go there and upset him even more than what he's already feeling. And the only reason I don't agree to doing things that way is because the more you hold it in, the harder it hits you when you let it out. You know what I'm saying? The reason I was able to grieve my father's death quicker than I thought I would be able to was because for like the first year or two, whenever I felt like crying, I would cry. If I was sad, I would live in whatever emotion I was in versus sucking it back in and trying to put on some brave ass face for other motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? And me and my mom, for sure, we would just do that, because if you try to be the stronger person for somebody else, you are eventually going to have a fucking breakdown. And I think I got to a point to where I refuse to not grieve. And for me, I would just cry. I would cry. I would scream. I would sing. I would laugh. I didn't shy away from dealing with it. And the one thing I hope that Charmaine is able to do once she births her daughter is she's able to fully grieve her mom's death. My cousin was pregnant with her daughter when my aunt passed away, and she had to be strong because she was pregnant. You know what I'm saying? And I get that's what Charmaine is, being strong for that reason too, because all the emotions go to the baby. But I just pray that Charmaine is able to, in whichever way she needs to fully emotionally deal with the loss of her mom. I can't, I know how hard it was losing my dad. I can't imagine, losing my mom. Like, it's just like, girl, I just, and that's what it was. I mean, because it was sad. It was a sad episode. I'm just like, I just can't. Anyway, thank y'all for tuning in. I am saying I am JayLee. This JLeesCorner. I know I didn't say it earlier. Please like the comment. Please subscribe to my channel. Like the video, comment on the video, share the video, and all that goodness. Peace.